get back now to the showdown over Syria. The head of NATO saying the world cannot allow Syria's use of chemical weapons to go unanswered. Anders Fogh Rasmussen is the Secretary General of NATO. He's with me live now in Brussels, Belgium, sir, and thank you for your time with us today. You have said the world must act.
Good morning.
But it will not be NATO that does the action. And to our viewers at home, we do have a delay here, so just bear with us. Why not NATO taking action in its 28 members, sir?
NATO already plays its part. We have deployed Patriot missiles to Turkey to ensure effective defense and protection of Turkey. NATO is a forum for consultation among allies, and we continue to keep the situation in Syria under close review.
Knowing that Turkey is so close on your continent, I apologize for interruption, but why does NATO consistently rely on the United States to make the next move?
If the United States and possibly other allies were to respond militarily to what we have seen in Syria, I would envisage a short, targeted, limited operation, and for that you don't need the NATO command and control system.
If it is short and targeted and limited, do you run the risk of being too short and too small to the point where you do not achieve the agenda here, which is to degrade and prevent Assad from using chemical weapons again?
The objective is to prevent such horrendous chemical weapons attack to happen again. And to achieve that, I wouldn't foresee a long-term military operation. I feel confident that if the United States and others were to conduct a military operation, they would do so in a way that prevents the regime from using chemical weapons again.
There is a question that is asked many times by our viewers here in the United States. That war has been on for 2.5 years. More than 100,000 people have lost their lives. The recent chemical attack killed at least hundreds, perhaps 1,500. What is the difference between 1,500 and 100,000 when it comes to acting now, sir?
All the killings in Syria are horrendous, conventional or chemical. They are horrendous. But chemical weapons are something special. Chemical weapons can easily be turned into weapons of mass destruction. And this is the reason why the international community has approved international conventions that clearly ban the use of chemical weapons. And in my opinion, the international community has a responsibility to uphold and enforce that international ban against the use of chemical weapons.
I'm not sure if you heard what Assad said earlier today with CBS's Charlie Rose, but he indicated the possibility if the U.S. strikes Syria, he will strike back with yet another chemical response. What do you think of that?
Well, it's not the first time we have heard such threats from him or other dictators. But I can assure you that within NATO we do have all plans in place to ensure effective protection of our populations.
Well, you also say that you saw the evidence and you were convinced that Assad is responsible for this. What have you seen that the people in Europe or the people in America have not?
I think there is a lot of public evidence presented already. I'm not alone in this assessment. You have seen clear statements from the League of Arab States as well as the European Union holding the regime in Damascus responsible for these horrendous chemical attacks.
Well, obviously that must have been pictures or video or something more than that. What was it, sir?
Well, as a matter of principle, we never comment on detailed intelligence reports. But as you have seen, there is a widespread conviction that the regime in Damascus is responsible. We know that the attacks were launched from areas controlled by the government into areas controlled by the opposition. And of course, it wouldn't make sense for the opposition to attack their own people with chemical weapons in areas they already control.
Mr. Secretary General, I appreciate your time. I know your time is short, but I appreciate you talking with us today. And we'll see what the President says tomorrow night and then what the U.S. Congress does after that. We will be in touch with you, certainly, in the days and weeks ahead. Thank you, sir, for your time in Brussels, Belgium today.
Welcome.
Martha.